So, folks, with Biden's polls plunging and really wide gaps in the Democratic Party over spending and taxing, along with some serious grassroots opposition from groups like the Save America Coalition, I really do believe the Democrats are on the run. They're back on their heels. They can't get their story straight. And again, this evening, I expressed my support for Senator Joe Manchin's strategic pause. And he'll carry that over until next spring of 2022, I'm told April. Our motives may be a bit different, but our goals right now are similar. If the Democratic budget resolution doesn't get through reconciliation until then, which admittedly is an improbable long shot, but if that's the case, then the whole thing's going to die. And I do believe public Democratic weakness after the Biden meetings and the nonsensical press conference today with Schumer and Pelosi and the rest, I think it's got a lot to do with the huge stock market rally today. Reconciliation down, stocks up. And while insiders tell me that President Biden told Democratic leaders to come up with their own top line on spending and, I presume, taxes, at this point, that project looks virtually impossible. Joe Manchin is at $1 to $1.5 trillion. The Bernie Sanders budget scored at $3.5 trillion, and the actual gimmick-free budget would be about $5.5 trillion. Now, that there is a very big spread. And as the Tax Foundation estimates show, even the Ways and Means tax mark, which I believe would do great harm to the economy, even that will produce a net revenue increase of only $1 trillion with Laffer curve dynamic scoring. That's not going to pay for $3.5 trillion. It's not going to pay for $5.5 trillion, and it's probably too high. So there's another problem. And then the attack on drug companies with excise taxes and price controls and forced subsidies is not going to yield anything close to $700 billion. And let me add this phony IRS tax gap business. Give them $80 billion more and you're going to produce, what, 400, 500, 600 billion. That will never come true. It's a complete fantasy. You know, reconciliation under the old Byrd rule is supposed to reduce deficits. The Democratic wish list, however, will raise deficits, and debt will rise by at least 15 to 20 trillion over the next 10 years. So you've got the so-called Democratic House moderates who do tend to be more pro-business, but their holy grail is a restoration of the SALT tax deduction in order to satisfy their wealthy suburban voters. Now, by itself, that could be a deal breaker in the House. Republicans correctly oppose it in the name of tax reform. I mean, why should Nebraska and Oklahoma pay for New York and New Jersey? But the far left progressives don't like it because they look at everything through the lens of class warfare. And this one doesn't fit the bill because it would help rich people. And we mustn't do that, right? Wrong. Actually, what ought to happen, good policy, make the Trump corporate tax cuts and business expensing package permanent, and then take that top personal income tax rate, take it all the way down to 30%, and then keep broadening the income tax base. But alas, that kind of supply-side thinking is not going to happen, at least not right now. Meanwhile, on the spending side, I want to note, the key reason I'd like to see this bill killed is the dramatic rise in entitlement spending that is being proposed. The federal government paid leave family plan, along with $1 trillion increase in the child tax credit, which is a massive spending hike through the tax code, along with other increases in child dependency care, which is the old AFDC welfare program, and free universal pre-K education, plus other dependent care. These are middle-class entitlements with eligibility up to, hold your breath, $200,000. That's not a safety net. Now, here's one more. The progressive left wish list also includes forgiving student loans up to $50,000. This is another bad idea. This is the middle and lower classes bailing out rich people. Now, look, I'm not a class warfare. I don't believe in that stuff. But if the affluent want to go to college, then pay for it and go to college. Now, we've already deferred student loan payments by more than $100 billion over the past 18 months. And by the by, at zero interest rates, borrowers should just be refinancing their loans. They would reduce principal and interest and substantially lessen the debt burden, that's all. And by the way, the worst offenders on all this are these permanent grad students who are, in the main, left-wing crazy people who can't get a job and try to go to school forever. I don't want to forgive them for anything. I don't even want to forgive them for being. Anyway, all these middle-class entitlements, which meet the left-wing progressive dream of a universal, guaranteed basic income, have no work or education requirements. Work and education are the best anti-poverty programs ever known. Work and education are the keys to climbing the ladder of opportunity. But the Democrats want to try to transform the very essence of the American idea. They want to destroy the core fabric of American society. The government will pay you, no need to work. Well, that's big government socialism. And that's an assault on free enterprise capitalism. That's a sure way to increase poverty and to increase inequality and to reduce labor participation and, frankly, move us further on the road to serfdom. Is this really what we want? I don't think so. And I think the public increasingly agrees with my point of view. So, just to coin a phrase, save America, kill the bill. That's my riff.